Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Today we are learning Shulchan Aruch Yomi Siman Samachay number 65. I like to call it table enabled because Shulchan Aruch is set table. I'm enabling you to understand the table, not the periodic table that you have to go to chemistry class for, or Google it because it's all there also. All right, let's start Samachay. It's only 3 sifim over here. Aleph Kara Seirugin. Let's say you read, you stopped in the middle. You started Kriya Shema and then you stopped for a while. Whether you interrupted by start speaking or you were silent, and then after some time you went and finished it. Even if you waited, I don't know how long it takes for an average person to say Kriya Shema. I would say 2 or 3 minutes. Even if you waited, you had a pause, a delay of 2 to 3 minutes. I feel like I have sick machmas onus. Even we're going to see it's more severe when it's an onus. For example, you're in a place that smells bad, or your wife passes you with a baby and the baby has a dirty diaper. So you're not technically allowed to say it. You're onus, you're nenas. You can't say Divrei Torah. We're going to learn when you have a bad smell or in a dirty area. So the halacha is, according to the Shulchan Aruch, that no matter what, even if you waited 10 minutes, an hour, you said the first parak, you can finish Kriya Shema later on. It's a machlokas in the Gemara. The Gemara holds, the Gemara is a machlokas hamoraim, whether Shah K'dei Ligmar Askula Chozer LaRosh or Eino Chozer LaRosh. The Rif and the Rambam Paskin, which is the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch, that you don't have to go back. Hagad or Ramasas V'yesh Omrim Dem Haya Onas Hifsik K'dei Ligmar Askula Chozer LaRosh. If it was a situation, not where you just decided you wanted to talk to your friend in the middle of Kriya Shema, because you had a good conversation, you wanted to talk about current events, you wanted to talk about who's the speakers this year on Tisha B'Av, on the Chafetz Chaim presentation. You're going to go with A or B, program A or program B. I think I'd rather go with program B this year. I always find it funny on Tisha B'Av, Jewish entertainment, there's not so much the whole year, but especially on Tisha B'Av, all of a sudden, you have like 3 movies coming out. Of course, they're meaningful and they're spiritual, but all the time, Tisha B'Av, the day that, they're supposed to be mourning, we're here, all this type of entertainment, we're trying to entertain people. It's kind of crazy. Obviously, the Chafetz Chaim thing is usually not too entertaining. It's just pretty much sermons, but they have some movies now that come out the past couple of years. Listen, if you can be entertained on Tisha B'Av in a meaningful way, so at least during the rest of the year, you can be entertained, culture getting in a not meaningful way. I will entertain you with half meaning, half fun. So basically, you decided in the middle of Kriya Shema you wanted to stop. You wanted to talk about whatever you wanted, and then you talk to your friend for 15 minutes. Doesn't make a difference. The Ramah adds that if it was an onus, right, it was a bad smelling place, and you couldn't say Kriya Shema, and you waited, and it was a delay of 2 or 3 minutes. You have to go back to the beginning. That's the minhag. The Ramah says, it depends who you are. If you're like me, you can finish Kriya Shema like a minute or 2, maybe a minute. If you're the rabbi of the shul, depends which rabbi. Some rabbis say 2 to 3 minutes. Some rabbis can say like 5-minute Kriya Shemas. So it depends on who you are. So it's a kula. If you're a big rabbi, you say a slow Kriya Shema, you can talk in the middle. All right. That's what we're going to talk about. The same halacha applies to the middle of Shemona Esrei. It's Tefillah. We'll talk about that later on. Beis Kara Kriya Shema v'nichnas beis hakneses. You were reading Kriya Shema. You already read Kriya Shema. And you go into a shul, matzah sibur shakar Kriya Shema. They're in the middle of reading Kriya Shema. Sarich likros imon and pasuk rishon. This is halacha. This is not in the Gemara. The Rush says in the Shem about halachos, the Bahag. You have to say along them pasuk rishon. Most people would put their hand over their face also. You don't want to look like you're not Mekabel al Malchus Shemaim. Everyone else is Mekabel al Malchus Shemaim. You have to also. But who did him who bebeis hakneses Omer divrei tachanunim apsukim makom mishrash I live so. Same thing if you're learning or you're in the middle of a different part of davening and they're saying Kriya Shema, then you're supposed to say Kriya Shema the first pasuk with them. Im hu asag makom she'eno rash I live so. Going baruch shamar ve'elach in the middle of psuki the zimra. Lo yafsik, you shouldn't interrupt and say the first pasuk Kriya Shema. Yomar ateva shu omer b'shasha atzibur omer in pasuk rishon nigun hatzibur she'nira kilu kore imam. he should say the words that he's saying. Baruch Shamar, the way everyone's saying Shema Yisrael. You say Baruch Shamar. You say it quietly because otherwise people know you're saying Baruch Shamar. But you should make it look, and maybe cover your eyes also, make it look that you're saying Kriya Shema with them, so it doesn't look like you're Porik Omal Shema. Everyone else is Makabel upon themselves the yoke of Shemayim when they say Kriya Shema. So you should look like you're part of that. Gimel Kara Kriya Shema v'nichal b'Beis HaKnesses Matzah Sibur Shekar and Kriya Shema Tov Shikar Yimam Kol Kriya Shema v'Kabel Sachar v'Koreh B'Torah. We mentioned Halacha Beis that you have to be mafsik and say the first pasuk of Kriya Shema. He says it's a good thing to say the entire parsha of Kriya Shema and Nikabel Schar like you're reading the Torah. Hagav Alido Chai Rachbas Rishon Moshe. The Ramah says, like we just said, that's only talking about it's a good thing to do it to say the whole three parshas because it's Kriyas HaTorah. It's a mitzvah of Kriyas HaTorah. Like I've explained many times in Ian to lean on, the Ian share on the Shulchan Aruch. There's a mitzvah of Torah Shabbal Peh every day and Torah Shabbal Tav every day. This is what the Shulchan Aruch says. Mitzvah Torah Shabbal Tav to say all three parshios. So it's a good thing to do it. You don't have to, but the first pasuk you have to. I will discuss an Ian to lean on in this sermon. My opinion about the Rush over here. Like I've said before, I don't believe Kriya Shema. How do we understand Kriya Shema? Because I've explained Kriya Shema is really a mitzvah of Torah Shabbal Tav. How do you reconcile this with the idea we always hear about Kriya Shema as Makabal of Omal Chashamayim, that you're Makabal, the yoke of heaven upon yourself? Which one is it? Is it possible to put these two ideas together? Stay tuned, coming up next.